everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am Nicole and this is Letting It Be So. Apologies in advance if I sound a bit weird. I have unfortunately come down with a bit of a cold this week. Nothing too wild, mostly annoying, snuffly, bunged up, etc. with a bit of a headache. You know, not enough to like send me, you know, having to be in bed or anything like that. But yeah, a little bit croaky, so I do apologise for the voice, but we will make do. Welcome back if you are returning, and welcome if you are new. So I'm here today with another Friday Sews video, so a catch up on all of the crafty and creative ongoings from the last week. Okay, we will start with what I'm wearing, but yeah, so the t-shirt I am wearing is the Iris Tee by Forget Me Not Patterns. It's probably my go-to t-shirt pattern for cotton jerseys with that extra kind of structure that you get with cotton jersey versus viscose jersey. I think I got this jersey from Guthrie and Ghani, but it was quite a while ago, so probably they don't have it anymore. It's this like ditzy, they're just little dots of colour, so on a navy background. The thing about having done it in this kind of ditzy, busy fabric is that, particularly when I'm looking at it on the camera, you don't get a sense of the sleeve, which is one of the, I guess, the main feature of the Iris Tee, although it does come with a plain sleeve option. Let me see if I can move a bit closer. So there is like some pleating detail. If this isn't showing up on video when I look back at it, I'll take some photos and put them in here. But yeah, essentially it's a, you know, fitted t-shirt pattern, and then it's got, like I say, it's got a completely plain sleeve option, and then it's got the short sleeve with a pleat option, which is what I've got on here. So there's a little pleat detail on the sleeve, and then there's also a like 3/4 length option with a slightly different pleat. It's not exactly the same as the one on the short sleeve. This is, like I say, one of my tried and true jersey top patterns. Yeah, particularly for cotton jersey, because yeah, you obviously need that, particularly if you're doing like the pleats. You need that little bit of structure that you get with the cotton jerseys to get that. But yeah, obviously not as evident on camera when you are wearing it in a busy print fabric. Okay, so on to what I've been making this week. So as promised, I finally got cracking on my mini-sized making backpack by Noodlehead. As I said in my videos previously when I was planning this, I've already made previously the regular size of that pattern from a Guthrie and Ghani kit, but I wanted to make the mini size because the mini size meets the rules that the football stadiums have for the size of bag that you can take in with you when you go to football. So I wanted to make the mini size to be my football bag. And I've actually made like a whole load of progress, and it's kind of funny the point that I'm at, really, because it kind of, I am like so close to finishing, but yeah, it's definitely, again, as I said with my Oxbow tote, you know, it's one of those things where like the initial stages take quite a bit of time. So obviously, again, you have quite a lot of pieces to cut out, and like multiple pieces, like multiple of the same piece in different fabrics, like the outer and the lining, and then interfacing, and then you have to interface everything. Like I say, I've been really enjoying it, apart from a small incident where, and this was entirely my own fault for like being lazy and pinning something rather than pressing it, and having a lot of pins in, and I just, you know, normally if you like prick your finger when you're sewing, you tend to do it on the, you know, the kind of tips of your fingers, which, you know, if you do a lot of sewing, you kind of usually built up a little bit of like resistance to stabbing by pins, but I managed to catch like the side of my little finger, and you know, instantaneously, rather than it being just like a little pin prick, it was bleeding quite a bit. So I quickly ran and made sure I didn't get any on the bag. Ran into the bathroom to like, you know, put it under some cold water, and it stopped bleeding pretty quickly. But yeah, I just managed to kind of stab myself sort of directly into a bit, which is probably more like muscly. I don't know, do you have muscle in your finger? Probably not, but like, yeah, not as built up of just like skin on the side. So I yeah, had to like, it did actually make a bruise. It's kind of gone now. You can't really see it, but it did make a bruise for a couple of days. So yeah, occupational hazard, and yeah, a lesson to me to yeah, not be lazy and get my iron out. I also think I need some more. I do have some of those like wonder clips that people tend to use a lot more in bag making, but I don't have that many. So I think maybe I need, you know, again, if I'm going to do more bag making, which, you know, I'm really enjoying it, so hopefully I will. But yeah, I think I need to get some more of those so I'm not tempted to pin things in weird places. Yeah, danger warning on bag making there. But you know, the finger is fine, we're all good. But yeah, I'll show you where I've got to. It looks like I've made like a box because of where I'm at, a box with a tail. But I am literally at the very last stage, so I've sewn all of the panels together, everything is in place, and I just need to, this is a bag that is like bias bound rather than having like where the lining drops in. So let's show you this side, which is less chaotic. So this is what is the back. So on this side I've got all my straps and like the handle. But yeah, on this side, on the inside, there's a zipper pocket, which yeah, does open. And then yeah, I also did, I'll show this properly once I'm fully finished and I'm showing you the full thing, but I did there's kind of two options for the pocket at the front. There's just like a patch pocket, and then there's one with a zip, and I did the patch pocket when I made the regular sides, but I decided I wanted to, yeah, try some more things, so I did the zip pocket for this smaller one. And yeah, on this side you can see I've just started pinning for the bias binding. But yeah, essentially I have to go around each rectangular bit where I've now got the front and the back joined, like the middle gusset piece, which has the zip and the bottom of the bag. I've just got to go and bias bind. So I've got it's like a party stream going on here. Yeah, really pleased with it. The instructions are good, and like I say, there's an extra video that has a few little bits and pieces that just, you know, give you other options for customizing your bag, which really helped. So yeah, I'm really pleased with it, and I'm looking forward to having it finished. And I will be ahead of my deadline because the first football match I'm going to is not until the 15th of September, and it's the 5th today, so I will be over a week ahead of schedule, which is good. So yeah, that is my mini making backpack, which yeah, just kind of looks like a weird box at the moment, but will very soon look like a backpack. The other thing I have to share that I mentioned last week was that I had done an order with Lamazi fabrics, and so I had a few things coming in the post which have now arrived. So yeah, I just wanted to share them with you and talk about my plans. Spoiler alert, it's gonna probably be more t-shirts. The first one I have is actually a remnant. So they put a load of jersey fabrics on their website relatively recently, all of which, I mean, there were like so many that I loved and could have picked, so I had to be strict as we are on a budget, and pick just a couple for the time being. But yeah, this one is a remnant, but it's quite a big remnant, and I know from experience of making a lot of t-shirt patterns that I can easily get one of my favoured t-shirt patterns out of less than a metre by the way that I cut things out. So yes, so it is this amazing, so it's on like a turquoisey background, and it's just got all of these big flowers, and then we got like a parrot and a hummingbird. Any other birds? Oh, there's like a peacock on the side that's nearest me. But yeah, just a really bold print. Yeah, on this, like I said, turquoisey background. So it's a cotton jersey. I think this, because of the print being so big and bold and statement, that this is just going to be a straight up jean tee, which I've talked about in previous episodes, which is by Ready to Sew, which is just a very straightforward t-shirt pattern that I've made in both cotton and viscose jerseys. So yeah, you don't want any pleats or style lines taken away from the drama of all of this. So that's going to be a jean. And then the next one I got, so this is a 4 meter, but it was from the same drop of I think it's by Danish Designs, I want to say. It's the like fabric brand name. But yeah, it is this. So it's on a really dark, like burgundy background. I think it was called like Neon Peonies or something. But yeah, it's got these flowers that are in some orange, there's some pink, and then there's this like sort of electric kind of turquoisey blue sort of outline. Really cool. Yeah, very, very graphic. And I was feeling we are coming to autumn, so I think, the burgundy was kind of, appealing to my autumn vibes. So got a couple of options for this. So this could definitely be an iris tee, I think, because whilst again it does have a pattern, I think it would still work for this, because there are some like reasonable gaps of like plain fabric amongst the pattern. The other option I consider, the Jennifer Lauren gable tee, which has that kind of boat neck, like higher neckline. Obviously the thing with that is that this is just a meter, and I tend to make the longer sleeve version of that when I make that t-shirt. But I'm also someone, like, even if I have things that are, fully down to my wrist, when I am doing stuff, like if I'm working or what have you, I often tend to be like rolling my sleeves up all of the time. So I'm not necessarily worried. So if I do choose to do that, I might have a look and see if, maybe I can't get a full length sleeve, but perhaps I could get like 3/4 length. I haven't made the gable tee in a while, so I can't remember what the fabric requirements are on the pattern. But yeah, I think that was just another one that I suddenly thought of that might go nicely with that. I've got a pinafore dress, a black corduroy pinafore dress that I love, and I definitely need at least one more of. But this is the sort of thing that I would think would go really well, like wearing underneath that layering. So yes, maybe I'm leaning towards the gable, but yeah, I do need to check out what the fabric requirements are. And then the third one is a basic, really. So I did have a stripy, longer sleeved top in my wardrobe that eventually had worn so many times that it was, it needed to be retired. So the other thing I got was just some plain, it looks black, but it is a very, very dark navy stripe cotton jersey. So yeah, again, a meter of it. I think I'm showing you the wrong side. I don't know whether the right side looks any more navy, but I promise it is. I mean this could also be a gable tee, but the pattern that I also like for 3/4 length sleeve tops is the Plantain by Sewaholic. I've made a few of those, and I usually make them 3/4 length sleeves. So yeah, I think probably that's what it will be. And again, this sort of thing is a great layering piece. I've got some like knitted vest tops that's good to wear underneath and one thing and another. Also good for like wearing under a shirt. You know, I'm all about layering when it comes to autumn and winter dressing, so that's kind of where my mind was going. And yeah, I think you just can't go wrong with your classic navy and white stripes, right? That is all that I have to talk about in terms of sewing and general creativeness. In terms of other stuff that's been going on, so it's been a bit chaotic. I think that's what I would describe this weekend. Like minor chaotic, not anything like earth-shatteringly terrible, just like little things that just, yeah. So on Saturday evening, I had gone to bed and was, you know, just laying there waiting to drift off, and I kept hearing this noise. I was like, what is that noise? I live in a block of flats, so you know, sometimes you do hear noise from other people, and that's fair enough as long as it's not anything too loud at unreasonable hours. But I was like, there's like a rustling noise. I'm like, what is that? So eventually I decided to get up and turn the light on and see if I could work out what the noise was, only to be greeted with the sight of a quite sizable spider on the wall on the side, the sort of right hand side of my bedroom, which was not ideal. I do not like spiders. I mean, I appreciate that they, you know, eat flies and all that jazz, but I am not a fan. And I can only commend myself for not screaming when I saw it, because it was quite big. Then as I was by myself, I had to then run and acquire something that I could trap it in, because I didn't have anything in my bedroom to hand that it would fit in. And yeah, managed to catch it, put on my big girl pants, and again didn't scream while I was catching it. Very good. I'm sure the neighbours are grateful that there wasn't a woman screaming at 1 a.m. And yeah, then just about managed to take it into the hallway and put it on the hallway table, and then yeah, then it took me quite some time to go to sleep, because I was like, it's quite a big one, what if it's big enough to like push over a glass? You know, it was quite a big one, it was quite a quick one. So yeah, that was that. And then because apparently all the things happened to me whilst I'm asleep, on Monday night I woke up about 4 a.m. with my toe absolutely throbbing, like, you know, like if I had, you know, dropped a hammer on it, I would have believed it at that point. But I knew that I hadn't done anything, so I was like, why is this happening? So again, had to get up, put the light on, look at my foot, what's going on? And apologies, like, you know, I appreciate not everyone enjoys toe chat, but I feel like if you're here and you've stayed this far, then we're friends, and you know, if you don't want to hear about toes, then you can you know, you can leave and I will not judge you for that. But yeah, I had a look and thought, oh, maybe there's a bit of nail digging in and that's why it's upset. I had a problem with that a couple of years ago, which eventually resulted in me having to have a small operation to stop it from keep coming back. So I was like, okay, maybe now the same thing is happening on the other foot. So I tried my best, but yeah, I could definitely see that there was some nail kind of digging in where it shouldn't be, that I couldn't deal with myself. So, you know, I had to make an appointment with the lovely people at the podiatry place that I went to before when I had all my problems. And I went there, and there's a very nice, I think he was new, guy who was like, yeah, I can see there's a big spiky bit digging into your foot, which is why it's hurting. So he was there doing the necessary to relieve that, and was very kind. And but it was quite funny. So they have a load of stuff that they use to like make a dressing for it, because obviously he'd been rummaging around in there, so he wanted to put a dressing over it at the end to protect it. You know, because obviously I was going to have to put my shoes on to go home. And so he was over to one side where all his tools were, like preparing this dressing. And then he walked back over to me, and then he proceeded to put the dressing on the opposite toe to the one he'd been working on. And I sort of sat there for like a few seconds, and then very polite, in the most politely English way, was like, I'm terribly sorry, but I think it's the other toe. And the poor guy, like, I felt for him. He was quite young, and I think he was new. And he just did that sort of like freeze, like deer in headlights, as of like he realised that he realised that he'd messed up, and that there was no styling it out, and he was just like, yeah. And just quietly just transferred the dressing over to the actual other toe that he had in fact been working on a few minutes earlier. But I was very kind. I just, we just laughed, and he said, "Oh, I've only had one coffee today," and I was like, "Well, I haven't had any caffeine today, so I don't think we can judge anyone by their actions when they're under caffeinated." But yeah, it was kind of funny. And there's been a few other things. I've had to have people on the roof earlier this week as well, because there's like a channel that goes down the roof where it turns, and that had gotten all blocked up, unbeknownst to me, because I don't look at the roof very often, if at all, because who does? And yeah, it got quite blocked up with leaves, and also I think you had quite a lot of storms over the sort of autumn winter period, and tile had gotten moved as well, and some water had got in, unfortunately. It made a little bit of a mark on my kitchen ceiling, so yeah, had people here bouncing on the roof, or that's what it sounded like, at least, to sort that out. Yeah, it's just been one of those things where, like, little mini dramas, like one after the other, and now I'm just like, could we have just 5 minutes? So yeah, in terms of plans for the rest of the week, again, I don't have much planned for the weekend, so it'll probably be another chance to get in some sewing. Yeah, I will definitely finish the backpack, and then I still haven't cut out the Quincy dress that I was planning to, but the fabric is all washed now, and I just need to iron it so that I can then cut it out. I also am going to film a autumn winter plans video. I've been making a load of notes of stuff that I want to make, been looking through my patterns, and also looking at my fabrics that I already have. Like, probably will make 1 or 2 purchases, but yeah, there's quite a few things that I have already fabric in my stash for that I want to make for autumn winter. So yeah, probably will film that on Saturday. And yeah, so next week you might get 2 videos from me, which should be pretty exciting. In the grand scheme of things, obviously there are plenty more exciting things that happen, but it will feel like an achievement for me, at least, to put out 2 videos in 1 week instead of just Friday sews. So stay tuned for that. All right, that's all I have to share with you. Thank you so much for watching. Obviously, please do like and subscribe. Leave me a comment if you've had any little chaotic drama. Make me feel like I'm not alone in being targeted by the universe, or yeah, if you've sewn the making backpack, how you've got on with that. Yeah, but thank you again for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Bye.